So I received this in the mail while I was going on vacation in South Korea and the Philippines. And basically this was an offer from Capital One to upgrade from my Venture One card to the actual Capital One Venture card. So basically it all breaks down to this. Well, first of all, why do you want a travel card in the first place? Well, the reason why I've been basically not really experimenting, I should say, but I've been using my credit card for all of my purchases in order to build up rewards points. And to tell you the truth, rewards points is probably, it's absolutely fantastic, because the thing about it is, if you buy everything on your credit card and you pay it back like the same day or the same week or whatever before you ever accumulate any interest, you can basically use your credit card in order to pay for huge chunks of vacations, which I'm going to explain in a minute. Now, this is the Capital One Venture card offer, and they tell you that they offer you 2 times miles or double miles. So that means that for every $1 you spend, you get 2 mile points or whatever for every dollar you spend. So obviously if you earn, like, you know, let's say you spend $1,000, you're getting 2,000 points or something. Now, I use my credit card for every single major purchase that I can, anything that doesn't charge me extra for credit. And that really absolutely helps when you decide to go on a nice big vacation, like obviously I do, like every 2 years. It also says you get unlimited 10 times miles on hundreds of thousands of hotels. 50,000 bonus miles for the sign up, and usually that's where they get your interest in order to get you to sign up, by giving you 50,000 miles or something to that effect. I think American Express had given me 30,000 miles on a card, which I don't use anymore, because Capital One just seemed to be better at it. And easier to use internationally. A lot of places don't take American Express, but Capital One uses Visa or MasterCard, and I have like a Capital One debit MasterCard, and I also have a Capital One Visa Venture card. So those 2 cards are all I used when I went to Asia, obviously. 50,000 miles absolutely does translate into about $500 worth of travel expense. I'll explain how that works in a minute. So what they're telling you is they want you to spend $3,000 within the first 3 months of account purchase. So basically it works like this. Let's say you were planning on buying something that was going to cost you $3,000 or more. If you were planning on buying something anyway on a credit card, that's the best time to open up one of these cards, because you were going to spend the money anyway. And that's really the whole point of these rewards. You're going to spend the money anyway, so you might as well do it in a way where you're going to get paid back. Now, the problem with the Capital One Venture card, everything has a caveat. The big problem with the Capital One Venture card is the Capital One Venture card has an annual fee. That annual fee is close to $100. So there's like some people actually wrote about it. In fact, this guy just wrote about it, which is interesting because, as you know, this is July 24, 2018. Right now, this guy actually wrote this yesterday. So I didn't even read what he wrote, but I already have some idea of what he's going to say, which, you know, you could always look at later. I'll give you a link to this story, because it's amazing that this guy actually wrote this yesterday. And right now it's 12:22, so he only like published it a few hours ago, basically. So anyway, as you know, I have the Capital One Venture One card, but then they also offer the Capital One Venture Rewards card, right? Now this one has an annual fee of $95 after the first initial year. The card that I have has no annual fee. The only problem is they don't give you as much miles. So for my card, I've never even used the APR because I don't allow my account balances to sit for longer than a day or 2, and then I pay them off immediately as they're posted. This way the bank never ever makes any interest off of me. I only get 1.25 miles. So that means that, you know, basically I only get 1.25 miles on every dollar spent. The thing about it is Venture here gives you 2 miles, a full 2 miles. So let's say that in a year you did all of your major purchases using a credit card. I've already within a couple of months racked up 10,000 reward points, over 10,000 actually. And because it's 1.25 rather than just 1. So I've already spent like more than $10,000 within the first couple of months, right? since about February, because that's when I paid for my trip. Now, the reason why I like doing things like this with these cards is very simple. I had saved up over 60,000 points. Those 60,000 points translated into about $600 saved. My Philippine hotel was less than $300 because it was like $25 per day. My Korean hotel was like $40 or $45, but I got a discount on that with Expedia because I keep using Expedia in order to book my trips. The reason why I'm kind of making this video is because I have some friends that want me to book a trip to Thailand, which might be the next vacation that I plan on going. And obviously I've told them already, I'm like, yeah, you guys make sure you have like $3,000 saved up, so this way you'll have a nice payment for your airfare, and you'll have you know, a little bit of money to spend while you're there. Because when you go to these foreign countries over there in Southeast Asia, living expenses is actually relatively cheap. My Philippine hotel was a nice little hotel. It was located in a great area, $25 a day. I had swimming pool, Wi-Fi, air conditioner, all the amenities I needed. My Korean hotel was pretty much the same thing. And I didn't have to actually pay for the hotels because I cashed in all of the points. The other thing about points is if you spend a lot during the years and you buy it all in credit, you can also upgrade to first class, you can upgrade to business class using those points. So when you purchase your ticket, basically the way it works is you just buy what you're gonna buy from the travel agency, and then the bank itself will give you a reimbursement. So they'll credit, like if you cash in 60,000 points, they'll just credit $600 back to your account, at which point you've paid back that credit expense that you've spent. Now, if you're one of these people who spends a lot of money on credit, it works even better. So the question really is $100 a year worth having, what, 0.75 miles more than the one that has no interest rate? I would have to say that the Capital One Venture Card is probably the better go. Like with my recent vacation to Dubai, my points alone paid off my hotel expenses. That also paid off my Seychelles hotel expenses. With my recent vacation to Manila and South Korea, the points paid off my hotel expenses. The only thing I had to pay for was the round trip ticket on the plane. Now, had I spent more money and saved up, like, let's say 100,000 points or whatever, I could have knocked off about half of the price of the airfare. But within the amount of time that I was saving points, I only saved about 60,000 points because, you know, I was kind of conservative with my card, but now I'm going to be less conservative with my card in order to save up points faster. So basically, as soon as I, you know, pass 50,000 or 60,000 points, I'll be ready to take another vacation because I'll have such a huge chunk lopped off by those points. So basically, you know, this guy is also suggesting that, well, also you have to have good credit to get cards like this. Like you have to have between 690 and 850. You've seen my credit before. My credit, my lowest score is 800 basically. It's like 798 or 800 or whatever. But it bounces because the thing about it is if you purchase something like property or if you purchase a car, your credit score dips a couple of points and then it comes back later or whatever. If you're a person who spends a lot of money on a credit card, like let's say you pay all of your bills on your credit card and then you pay the credit card back, that can easily help you accumulate massive amounts of points, and that's probably the best way to go. This card too requires you have between a 690 and an 850. So yeah, the annual fee could technically be considered worth it. The only thing about it is that's still $100 a year, you know, so that's basically $100 is the equivalent of 10,000 points. So that kind of card where you have an annual fee, especially of $100, if it was $50, I'd probably have bought that card already. But if the annual fee is $100, that kind of hurts the desire to upgrade from the Venture One to the straight Venture. So I have to say that I'm going to stick with the Venture One for right now. because the banks have basically figured out. I used to get rewards points on my debit card until the banks figured out that they weren't making any money off of us. So what they did was they curtailed that shit, and they said, no, fuck that, you're not getting any more rewards on your debit card because we're not making money off your interest, and we're also not ripping you off if you ever make a mistake and don't pay your bill, and then we can hit you for a $30 charge, and we can hit you for these crazy finance charges. So personally, I think I'll stick with the card I have.